Welcome to the Consulate General of Ireland, San Francisco's presentation on foreign birth registration. To qualify for citizenship via foreign birth registration, you have to be born abroad to an Irish citizen born abroad. Therefore, an applicant's parent must be an Irish citizen on the day the applicant was born. The parent can be a citizen in many ways, one being born abroad to a parent born in Ireland. Essentially, your grandparent was born in Ireland. Another way your parent may be a citizen is through naturalization, which is the process of obtaining citizenship through residency in Ireland. Your parent may be a citizen through postnuptial declaration or through marriage. Your parent may be an Irish citizen through the foreign birth register, also known as their citizenship through their grandparent or your great-grandparent. Or your parent might be an Irish citizen by being born abroad and adopted by an Irish citizen. You can apply for citizenship in these simple 5 steps. The first step would be to gather all of the supporting documents necessary, which I will go over in the next slide. The second step is to complete the online application form, which is accessible on the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade website or the Consulate General of Ireland, San Francisco's website. The third step is to submit payment online through the online FBR application. The fourth step is to bring your application form to be signed and witnessed by a practicing professional. And the fifth step is to post the application to the address shown on the form. With regards to the required documentation needed to apply for foreign birth registration, I will start first with the documents relating to the applicant. Please be advised the documentation list that I will be going through is for those who are applying for citizenship through their grandparent who was born in Ireland. First, you'll need your completed, signed, and witnessed application form that you completed online and printed. You'll also need your long form civil birth certificate. The long form birth certificate is the birth certificate from the county in which you were born that includes both your parents' names and their places of birth. If you are married, you will need to include your civil marriage certificate, or if you have changed your name in any other matter, please include your change of name document from the court. You'll also need a photocopy of your current state-issued ID document. So this can be your US passport, a driver's license, and other identity card. And this must be witnessed or signed by a notary or a practicing professional. You'll also need 2 separate original proofs of address. These can be things like a printed bank statement, phone bill, credit card bill, gas bill, tax form, etc. And then finally, for yourself, you'll need 4 passport-sized photographs, 2 of which will be signed by the person who verifies your ID and your application form signature. These passport photographs can be US-sized photos. The 2x2 photos are definitely okay. You do not need to find the Irish-size photographs for passports. Please note, for all documents that you will submit, you need to include certified translations if the documents are not written in either English or Irish. Now onto the documents relating to your parent. You will need to include your parent's long form civil birth certificate. Again, this is the civil birth certificate that includes their parents' names and their parents' place of birth. So the person who was born in Ireland should be listed on this birth certificate, and it should state that they were born in Ireland or Northern Ireland. You will need to include your parents' civil marriage certificate, if they are married or were ever married, and your parents' change of name document if that applies to the situation. And finally, you will need either a photocopy of your parents' current state-issued ID, again, signed by a notary or other practicing professional, or their civil death certificate if they are deceased. And again, we would like to remind you that translations are necessary for any document not written in English or Irish. And finally, the documentation that you will need to provide for your grandparent who was born in Ireland are the 3 following documents: your your Irish-born grandparent's civil Irish birth certificate. This is a long form certificate that shows their parents' names on it. You'll also need to include your grandparent's civil marriage certificate and any other name change document if applicable. And then finally, again, you will need to include a photocopy of your grandparent's current ID or their original death certificate. And again, translations are necessary. For those who have trouble obtaining certificates from their family members or cannot find the correct form of the certificates for the application, here are 4 helpful links to find the certificates anywhere from Ireland to the United States, the UK, or Northern Ireland. Please note that Irish certificates from the Republic of Ireland are separate from the certificates from Northern Ireland and should be ordered on separate websites. If you'd like this information, you're more than welcome to contact our office and we will go ahead and forward this information to you. Step 2 is to complete your online application once you've gathered all of your documents. So you can visit the DFA website and find the application at this address, or you can again email our office and we're happy to provide the link to you directly. Once you click apply, the following screen should appear, which is where you will start your application. There are a couple of things to note at the beginning of the application. Please make sure that you identify your country of residence currently, your age, so whether you are over the age of 18 or under the age of 18, and finally, how your parent receives their Irish citizenship. Please note that on the first page of the application, they are asking how your parent receives their citizenship. If you are applying for citizenship through your grandparent, your parent receives citizenship by being born to a person born in Ireland. So please make sure that you select born to a person born in Ireland for the beginning of the application, not foreign birth registration. Another note for the online application is on pages 2, 3, and 4. You will need to provide the mother's birth surname. This means your mother's maiden name, and you must include the maiden name of each person. So your mother's maiden name, your grandmother's maiden name, and your great-grandmother's maiden name for the application. Next, you'll submit online payment after completing the online application portion. Please make sure that when this screen on the left shows up with the red writing, that you immediately print or save the FBR application that you have just completed. This is not an account that you can return to, so you must print the foreign birth registration form directly from this site or save it to your computer for future use. Once you've printed your application or saved your application, you'll select click here to pay and submit your application online. You'll be prompted to insert credit card details. Please do not worry if your credit card is a US credit card. The conversion will happen once the Foreign Birth Registration Department receives your payment. Step 4 is to have your application witnessed. So Section E of the application form requires a signature by an approved practicing professional. So the applicant should either be personally known to the person or show photo identification to this witness. There's an extensive list of witnesses here on the right side of your screen that can be used. So if you know someone personally of one of these professions, you're more than welcome to ask them to be your signature witness. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to go to a notary public. You're simply asking your witness to say that they did see you sign the form in front of them. You are signing the form to say that the information you're providing on the foreign birth registration application is true and correct as you know it. So your witness is simply signing that they watched you sign the form. They do not need to verify your identity in any way unless it is a notary public who asks to see your ID. Otherwise, we're only asking them to sign saying that they watched you sign the form. Please make sure that they either provide an official stamp or business card and insert all of their details related to their profession, not their home address and home contact number. And step 5 is to send your completed application directly to Dublin. So you will mail the application form along with all of the required documents that we just went over to the address noted at the top right-hand corner of your application form. The FBR department will confirm receipt of your documents via email to you, so please make sure that you are checking your email regularly throughout this process. The application process can take anywhere from 9 to 12 months. This is because the Foreign Birth Registration Department received approximately 25,000 applications in 2019, and they are still working through those applications at the moment. Unfortunately, there's no way to expedite the process. However, if you're an expectant parent applying to be entered on the Foreign Birth Register, please make sure that you clearly indicate this on your application and provide some proof of the status, the fact that you're an expectant parent. This will allow the Foreign Birth Registration Department to hopefully expedite your application in hopes that your child can obtain Irish citizenship in the future. So we have some frequently asked questions that we would like to go over. One question that we often get is that someone's parent was not an Irish citizen at the time of their birth and how they can appeal for this. Unfortunately, there's no appeal process. If your parent was not an Irish citizen at the time of your birth, unfortunately, you're ineligible to apply. But again, we would like to note that if you have a grandparent born in Ireland, your own parent is automatically an Irish citizen, whether they obtained an Irish passport or not. So in this case, your parent was an Irish citizen at the time of your birth. But unfortunately, since it is a citizenship law, not a policy, if you have a great-grandparent born in Ireland and your parent was not a citizen at the time of your birth, you're ineligible to apply for citizenship at this time. The second FAQ that we typically get is that the application did not allow someone to submit payment online and what they should do. In this case, if the payment page did not come up after you've completed your foreign birth registration form, please just proceed with the application as normal. You may mail in your application form and all required documents to the appropriate address, and the Foreign Birth Registration Department will contact you upon approval of your application and ask you to submit payment then. There's no penalty for submitting the payment later once they contact you. Another question we get is that someone did not get the opportunity to print out their application form and they have logged off the page and can no longer access it. If this is the case, please obtain your application number from the email that the FBR department would send you and email it to our office in San Francisco at citizenshipsf@dfa.ie. Once you do this, we will reach out to our colleagues in the Foreign Birth Registration Department, and they will contact you directly with a new application form for you to print out and submit with your documents. Another frequently asked question that we get is if you can send your application to our office. Unfortunately, we cannot accept your application. This does need to be submitted directly to Ireland, and we cannot verify your documents or approve your documents. You will need to submit all original documents to their office. Unfortunately, we cannot forward the application for you, and we can't accept the application. Another question we get is about how to send your application internationally. Many claim that UPS and FedEx will not deliver internationally to a PO box. So in this case, what we advise is that you use the US Postal Service, who can do a certified delivery to a PO box. Again, as mentioned, a lot of applicants ask if their application can be expedited. Unfortunately, under no circumstances can an application be expedited. But again, please note if you are an expectant parent, and the Foreign Birth Registration Department will do their best to expedite your application in that case. Another question we get is how to request a status update of the application. Unfortunately, you cannot request status updates on your application. Due to the large number of applications that the Foreign Birth Registration Department receives, they cannot provide status updates. Once you receive confirmation from the Foreign Birth Registration Office that your documents were received at their office, they will not contact you until your application is being reviewed and approved. They'll contact you via email if they feel there's further documentation that they need to see before approving your application, or if you missed payment, they will contact you via email again. They will also contact you to verify that your address has not changed from your original application and give you the opportunity to change your shipping address if necessary. Please be advised all of your original documents will be returned to you with your citizenship certificate upon approval. And the final FAQ that we often get is when an application is complete, do you automatically get an Irish passport? Unfortunately, the Irish passport is a separate application. So once you've been approved for citizenship through foreign birth registration, you'll be sent an application form for an Irish passport. That's an application form that you'll return to our office in San Francisco, and then your passport will be processed from there. We surveyed our local organizations, our local contacts, and the people that work here in our office, and we thought we'd ask them what it means to them to be an Irish citizen. So if you wanted to take a moment and read some of these wonderful things that people had to say about how proud they are to be an Irish citizen, here's your chance, and here's a few ideas of what it really means to be an Irish citizen. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to contact us at the Consulate General of Ireland in San Francisco, and we'd be happy to assist you to the best of our abilities. So please find our contact information here. And again, feel free to reach out at any point if there are any questions you have about the process. Good luck.